Okay, so I just got done recording the video and I was talking in the video for 17 minutes and I figured out right before I was gonna post it that it was muted and my mic wasn't on. So I'm gonna record this again. But today we ended up passing the 50K account after 2 weeks. And it honestly shouldn't have even been 2 weeks. I'm gonna show you guys the trade I took, and then I'm kind of a little bit pissed off though because I don't know if this happens to y'all either, but whenever I pass my accounts, like I got the email after I passed my account, and for the funded, I tapped on the email. As soon as I go back to TopStep, the funded account, the evaluation that I had is gone. Right now, it's replaced with Express. I'm kind of pissed off because I want to show you guys the performance stats for that account because generally this account I stuck to every single word I would have told myself. Right, a few days ago, a few weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, I was $600 away from passing an eval account. Guess what happened? I didn't see. I just hadn't known how to take a loss there yet. Right. Like, I knew how to trade, I knew my technical analysis was there, I knew how to find my setup. The only thing was I just didn't know how to take a loss. And so if you guys look back into the past video where it's titled like failing my eval or something, blowing my account, I was so close to passing it, and then just like that, one single loss brought it all down. You can imagine how shitty that feels. But at the same time, I sized in heavy for these accounts. I'm at the point where I have the capital to go through accounts. That's why I kind of size up on them. It doesn't mean I'm just YOLOing and full porting trades, right? Like, the main point for this account was for me to prove to myself that I can stick to my rule. My rule was knowing how to take a loss and only taking 2 entries maximum for each trading day, right? Not trading every day, but for each trading day, if I do trade, it's going to be 2 entries max. Okay, you can take partials and end up having like 5 trades, but as long as it's 2 trades, you're good. And that's exactly what I did. And I wish I could show you guys performance stats because it looks so good that the 1 trades, the 2 trades, the 3 trades that I took, and all of them being green, and then following up with a few red days. But genuinely, like, I started this account off $1,100 in drawdown. And then I built my way back up, and in 2 weeks I had to get out of a $4,000 hole, right? Because $1,100 in drawdown. As soon as I started, like, I stuck to my rules. Even then, like, I started this account losing my first 3 trades. The first day I lost 800. The second day I lost like 200, 300, and then this week on Monday I lost 1,100. Guess what? I stuck to my rules. I took the loss on the chin. Came back the next 3 days. 1,500 TopStep consistency, another 1,500 or 500, like, or 1,500 consistency rule, 500, and then today I made 1,200 on the eval, which allowed me to pass the account. So give yourself a chance. That's the main thing, right? The last account where I almost had passed it, I didn't even give myself a shot to see another trading setup. Why? Because I got emotional. I wanted to make back the loss because I couldn't take it on the chin, and which allowed me to miss out on a great setup the next day, which I would have passed my account on. Literally, that's exactly how this shit works. I know a lot of people tell you guys stick to your rules, stick to your rules, stick to your rules, and I know that's so generic, and I know you're tired of hearing it over and over and over and over again, but you will never know, you will never truly know until you actually do it. And that's like, I'm living, like, I know this is just, I'm not getting a payout or anything, but like, this is more than just the money aspect of it. Like, just in general, just look at it and just pretend like I passed, I don't know, just pretend like I got a 10K payout. Okay, it's the same exact shit from passing an eval. If you're able to take a loss, for my character, that was me specifically, if I was able to take a loss, and I've been good because I know what to trade, I know how to trade, I know what to look for my setups. I'm confident that I'm good at my technical analysis, I'm good at what I do, I'm good at trading. I just had to get the psychological aspect down. I'm not gonna sit here and say psychology is everything. Like, for sure it's 90%, like damn near everything, but you have to know how to trade, and you have to learn your model. You learn in the first 6-8 year of trading, but so after that, dude, it's just doing less, because you have your model, and the only thing you're focused on is taking losses, stepping away from the charts, and knowing when to trade. That's like the biggest thing. And so that's what I'm learning right now. And for this account, I made a lot of progress on that, specifically on the emotional aspect of it and the psychological aspect of it. I took a solid trade today, stuck to my rules once again, and I'm gonna show you guys and go through thoroughly, hopefully this time without the mic muted, the trade I took to pass my account. And so yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is the funded. Like I said, I don't have these are the accounts that I blew. I don't have the other one. I wish I did, to show you the performance stats, but I don't have that anymore. It's unfortunate, but it's okay. So coming today, I was on the daily. I didn't really have anything other than this order block being respected here from like last week. But on the 4 hour, I did have a little more because overnight we had this 4 hour fair value gap get inverse, and so coming into the day I was bearish. Like that's all I do. I look at the 4 hour and I look for a PD arrays on the 4 hour, a fair value gap on order block, and I go off of that. Whether coming into the session we're respecting that or disrespecting that, and today we're disrespecting that. So I was initially bearish. And we also have draws to the sell side. We have London lows and Asia lows, so we have draws to get to on the 4 hour, and we have confluence that we're gonna dump lower. And coming out in the 6 a.m. candle, we were respecting this bearish order block here, but obviously we shot up here. But before that, like I said, we were bearish, and I was looking for a short, obviously, because I'm bearish biased. And so as soon as it starts, we have a perfect looking 5-minute unicorn model to the downside, and you're like, maybe you're asking, why didn't I take this? We had a lot of bearish confluence. Maybe some of y'all took this trade, right? Low, high, lower, low, high, low, higher, high, lower, low. Sorry. We inverse this fair value gap here. And then we have a 5-minute fair value gap, a bearish fair value gap here as well. And so this is a perfect trade, honestly. Not a perfect trade, obviously, because it didn't work out, but this is a perfect setup. We don't have an SMT, but it's in a macro. We have a unicorn model, but this is what happens when you get your bias wrong, right? And so this is what I mean by saying you have to be a good technical analysis trader to some degree. And this honestly just comes with just a little bit of experience in knowing your model, and like I said, just being a trader that knows what they're doing at a decent amount. This wasn't a hard trade to avoid because of the fact that whenever I see a higher time frame setup like this, for me, I have to see a lower time frame confluence. I have to see a lower time frame lower time frame entry. I only enter on the 1 minute. And for higher time frame entries like these, when a 5-minute retraces back into a fair value gap, there's 5 1-minute candles that tell the story, that make up this 5-minute candle, right? On the 15-minute, there's 15 1-minute candles that make up the entire story of one 15-minute candle. And so it's kind of hard to enter. It's going to be hard for us to, like, we should be seeing an entry on the 1 minute when we have 5 1-minute candles that can give us any sort of entry, and we don't get that at all, right? Like, if this was your point of interest, if you wanted this 5-minute to tap into this fair value gap and then head lower to take down these London lows and Asia lows, go into the 1 minute and check if you have any sort of signal that we're gonna start heading down lower, like anything, literally, right? So we could have tapped into here, and this 947 candle could have just rejected strongly and created a change in the state. That's a sign that we're gonna get lower on the 1 minute. You could enter off of there. We could have had an inverse fair value gap to the downside. You could have entered off of that on the 1 minute, but we don't get any of that. Instead, we get 3 big ass straight candles, and we end up inversing the fair value gap. No sign at all that we're gonna start reversing, right? So don't enter off higher time confluences. Don't just enter when that higher time frame taps into this fair value gap. Always make sure on a lower time frame. If this was like a 30-minute fair value gap being retraced, go into the 15-minute, see if 2 of the 15-minute candles indicate signs of reversal. If this was a 15-minute retrace into a fair value gap, go into the 5-minute to see if there's 3 5-minute candles saying there's signs of reversal. Go into the 1 minute, see if there's 15 1-minute candles saying that there's going to be a reversal. And this and being able to do that just comes with, like I said, experience and just knowing how to trade. But yeah, and I think I messed up these internal SMTs, but we had internal SMTs here. But yeah, I even told in the Discord that coming today, I would like to see us take out session lows, and then if we don't get a short on that session low, I'd like to catch up on our way back onto the longs. And that's exactly what happens, right? We don't end up taking session lows, but we end up, longing, and we catch a long, and we have a nice looking market makers buy model here as well. And so yeah, as soon as that 5-minute unicorn model is inversed, that 5-minute fair value gaps gets inversed, this is where I'm going to be looking for longs, because now a bearish 5-minute unicorn model is invalidated, and that's a pretty big sign for me. And so this is where my entry happens. We tap this 5-minute, barely taps this 5-minute fair value gap. We put an SMT here, even more confidence like we're going to head to the upside. So now I'm really, really looking for longs. Now I go to the 1 minute, like I said, and I'm looking for any sort of entry on the 1 minute, and we get that, right? We respect both these 1 minute fair value gaps. And my original entry, I'm going to be honest, my original entry was at this fair value gap here. This fair value gap below this was my step loss. This was my original entry, but as soon as we respected this 1 minute fair value gap here, I entered, I entered here off this. This was my entry, my original entry. What's my take profit? Sorry, this was my take profit. Wait, am I tripping out? Oh, I can't even see. All right, let me go to the Discord, because I don't want to act like I'm capping out here. So that, if y'all can see, was my take profit, which was at like 22 2 to 300 or something like that. So it was around like right here, right? I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, it was like around there, right? So that was my final take profit, and then this was my stop loss, obviously. My initial stop loss is actually around 30 points here. This was my original like risk to reward ratio. Sorry, I messed it up because the last video I was recording and I had to start all over again. But yeah, so this is my original entry. I entered off this change in the state here, which I should have ended for waited for a candle closure, but we didn't end up getting that because we were respecting this and we got a strong rejection wick off this 1005 candle. And also another big thing for me in this 4 hour, again, like I said, was we closed over this down close candle, right? So this essentially becomes our order block. And so as soon as this 10 a.m. candle opens, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for us to retrace back into this black line, which is the marked out 4 hour order block. And conveniently, there's fair value gaps here, and we're just testing that. We're respecting. That's such a good sign that we're going to be bullish. And so even though I enter off of this and I enter a little bit prematurely, as soon as we're respecting this and we're tapping this 4 hour order block and we're respecting it, I have so much confidence. Like, I'm not worried that this trade won't play out. And so as soon as we wick off of this, I almost get stomped out actually. My original, like as soon as we make this candle and we break structure, I move my stops and de-risk to the low of this fair value gap. I'm so glad I didn't move it like literally a tick higher because I would have gotten stomped out. And however, as soon as we reject off that, we have so many internal SMTs here. We reject off of that. And I apologize. I don't know where this SMT was, but there was 2 internal SMTs. We reject off of that. I'm pretty confident my trade's gonna play out. As soon as this takes Asia lows, I de-risk even more. I forgot where I put my stop losses. But I think it was, oh yeah, it was a low of this order block here, or this 5-minute down close candle. So as soon as that happens, I de-risk even more. And then I just let the trade play out. Like, it was a pretty simple trade after we got through this chop, but that's exactly how I kind of got my buy. So really quick recap. Initially I was bearish, but then I go into the 5-minute, we see a bear shut up, and I was bearish and I could have taken this trade, but I go into the 1 minute to see if we have an entry. We don't have an entry at all, and we end up inversing it, which makes me to flip my bias to bullish because we have Asia highs here. And so as soon as we tap into this 5-minute fair value gap off of this 5-minute unicorn model and we put in a 5-minute bullish SMT, I'm looking for an entry on the 1 minute. And as soon as we're testing these 1 minute fair value gaps and testing that 4 hour order block that I marked out here, as soon as for this 10 a.m. candle, and we're respecting it, I'm even more confident in the long. And so all I have to do now is I wait for the trade to play out. My original entry, the best entry you could have gotten was here, which was my original entry. This would have been a banger trade. But I entered a little bit early, which is fine though. I had good stop loss placement. And so that's the trade I took today. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, this account goes a lot better. I think it will. The past funded account that I had made, like, generally, somebody called me out on it, the last funded account that I had, and I generally passed that one up. I'm wearing boxers, chill, okay? I just didn't. Show y'all, just to show y'all I'm not naked. I know, like, I don't know why I'm in boxers every single video. I don't know. I feel like I'm naked because I just wake up, I get ready, brush my teeth, shower, and I hop into the markets. I'm not gonna dress up for NQ, okay? So sorry if I'm not in a full fucking fit, but yeah. But yeah, that was the trade I take today. Hopefully this fund account goes a lot better. I think it will. I know how to trade. I know how to stick to my rules. I know how to take a loss for the most part now. I do know how to take a loss. I'll just come back the next day if it doesn't work out. The main thing is I have to figure out how many micros I'm going to be trading. I think I'm going to stick to 2 to 3 to build up a buffer, and then we go to 5 to 6. Hopefully we can get a payout. I'm going to try to get it to 4K this time, and then take a 2K payout here, reinvest, see if I can make some more fundeds, and then copy trade. You know the deal. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this made a lot sense, and the main thing you got to take away from this video is learn how to take a loss. If you can learn how to take a loss, you can pass your funded account. I was able to do it in 2 weeks just because I it should have been less than 2. It should have been a week, but I took a few dumb trades along the way. But yeah, I learned from those. But yeah, I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next video, and God bless. I thank y'all.